am bored. What should I do?
Ah, ich weiß.
Hallo und willkommen, Germ fam. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing fantastic. I thought I'd show you around Germany a little bit again, and also this time not only do that, but also give you some real talk, because we haven't really done that in a while, have we? We've talked about Germany, yeah, quite a bit actually, about German language and culture, sure. But have we, or when did we talk about real stuff the last time? Like my private personal life, sure, not everyone might be interested in that, but this is a channel where we talk about everything. And I started this channel just talking about myself and my life in Germany. And that's what we're going to do again today. We are going to talk about what's going on in my life recently, what has been going on in my life recently. And we're also going to hope that these cameras are not going to fall down while I do it. We will see if that works. Also, for those who haven't subscribed to my newsletter, to the Get Germanized newsletter, well, I've sent it out recently, the fall 2021 update, in which I obviously talked about all the things officially happening to Get Germanized, or that have officially happened recently. But again, officially, nothing too private in there. And that's actually another thing, or one of the main themes I want to touch on today. The appearances that people give you as creators and you as viewers on the internet. Toxic positivity, if you've heard of that. And just generally things that are related to that, I suppose. Let me start at the beginning by explaining what toxic positivity is. Many people on the internet basically just show you what they want you to see, which is understandable, but leads to manifold problems, I would say. Because you don't see when they're not doing great, when they're not successful, when they're not having the best day of their life, when they go to therapy, go to the doctors, when, you know, some people share that, sure, but often, for example, on Instagram influencers, they tend to only show the really cool parts of their life, which again, I do understand. But also again, it's not something that, well, many people know. Some people think, wow, they must have the most amazing life. They must feel great all the time. And that can have a negative influence on, well, everyone. It even had negative influences on me. I didn't know, for example, that my colleagues, some of them, weren't always super productive or super happy or successful all the time. But you start comparing yourself on social media quite quickly. And so, of course, it can drag you down a little bit. It can make you feel less than, if you don't know that what you see on social media often is not the entire truth. And so I had to learn that the hard way, just by, well, going through burnout, going through depression, going through anxiety. And not only because of that, obviously, but it played a role, it played a part for sure. And I want to spare others out there the same path that I went through. Because, as some of you might know, I go to therapy for anxiety, and also apparently for a mild depression, because, well, I was diagnosed with that. I knew I had depression in the past, but I thought I was done with it, to be fair. But apparently there's still some traces left, which I found, of course, a little bit annoying, because I didn't even notice, really, you know. But, I mean, yeah, I guess. Anyway, the reason why I'm telling you this with the depression is because I'm going to therapy, right? And my therapy is not only single session therapy, but also group therapy. And that means you have a room full of people sitting down with a therapist talking about their issues. And the issues are just as manifold as the people there. But recently, someone whose name I'm not going to name, obviously, so this is not a problem, me talking about the problem in general, I don't think, is or was that they felt like Instagram wasn't really healthy for them. So basically, they said, well, Instagram is, on social media, I think in general, but mostly Instagram in this case, is bad for me. They were concerned with the image that others were portraying of themselves. And they said, why can't I always be this happy? Why can't I be that successful? What am I doing wrong? And I was explaining to them, it's not you, basically, it's everyone else that is dishonest about their lives, or just, I mean, very selective. Not even dishonest, but very selective, purposefully so most of the time, to make themselves feel better as well. Because it is a good feeling if you know that others will think of you as a very successful person, of someone who made it, you know, of someone who did it. And that is why, in my opinion, many people do it. So, I mean, there is a saying, fake it till you make it, but I think that's the most toxic BS out there. I don't know. I think there's nothing wrong with sharing, even if you don't feel well, especially to remove stigma from topics like therapy and depression and mental health issues in general. That is why I have, well, decided to share it. It wasn't easy, and of course, it took me a long time to get there. Like, in many instances, I was very unsure about like sharing or not sharing my mental health issues. For many years, I've told people, well, you can just go to the therapist if you really need to. Like, there's nothing to be ashamed of. It is completely fine and normal and healthy and right to do it. It's just like going to your general practitioner, right? Many people have heard this from me, and so it felt a little bit dishonest to myself even that I have not followed my own advice for years. And well, recently in 2021, I have decided to do it. I've started going to therapy and group therapy, which was super scary at first. Like I said, it's not something that came to me easily. It's not something I just did without, well, overcoming my fear of sharing, of talking to a whole bunch of strangers about every dark facet of my life. So I get it, that it's uncomfortable sharing things like that on the internet. And it's uncomfortable to admit that you're not as successful as you would like to be, or as you have hoped maybe. Because also the internet is such a toxic place sometimes that shows you a very few, like a handful of super successful business people, or just successful people in the area of life that you would like to be successful in as well. But you forget often, or people forget often, that it is not only hard work that plays a role here. It is luck, it is opportunity, it is timing, the right place, the right time. I mean, they don't say that for nothing. It is absolutely right. And if that doesn't happen to you at under 30 years old, or in some extreme cases in your teenage years, then that is not your fault. It is just normal. That's just how life is. Unpredictable and different for everyone. And that is why I know hate is a strong word, but I hate this toxic positivity on the internet when some people fake their way through happiness. I have done that in the past, I'm sure, because I thought it had to be done. But if you are someone like that, that doesn't know better yet, if you still think people will hate if I'm telling them something negative, and I will lose viewers, I will lose subscribers, I will lose something, then you can be reassured that that is not correct. People will like you more if you're honest, and it is so much more relatable because everyone is going through shit, like one way or the other. It's not always the same. Not everyone is having like YouTube troubles or influencer troubles. That is very rare. But I mean, people are going through stuff. The whole world is going through stuff constantly. So please believe me when I say it is a good thing if you do it, if you decide to do it. So please do it. Please. And also, there's a massive truck in front of us. Hopefully it's going to be gone in a minute. But yeah, I just wanted to say that because it's very important to me, because like I said, I had to explain to someone who's not involved in social media usually, but obviously use Instagram, that it is not real. It is fake. And people are very selective. And so I think this information might benefit more than just that person. So I'm putting it out there in the video. Which of course is not the only purpose, the sole purpose of this video, but it is one of the purposes. And real talk, like I said, I have also not eaten, what do you say in English? I've not eaten the wisdom fruit from the wisdom tree all the time. I've recently, in like the last couple of months, I've gone through a very anxious and hard time myself. I had health anxiety a lot because, I mean, I suffer from a panic disorder, so anxiety. And it was formerly known as heart neurosis or neurosis. That is because many people with that disorder, they actually fear for their health, and often in regards to heart health. And so I was the same, and I worried that I might have a sick heart, like arrhythmic heartbeat, all of it. Like I was worried about every facet of it. And of course that constant worrying made my heart feel weird. And it gave me palpitations every now and then. At least it felt like that. I'm not 100% sure, because I got every test and everything's fine. I got a blood test, like a big blood test, and I am super healthy. Like my blood is amazing. It's really good. So naturally that calmed me down a lot, and ever since I got that piece of information from my doctor, I feel so much better. Not perfect yet. Every now and again I have to remind myself that when I have like a little bit of anxiety coming on to me, or a lot of anxiety sometimes, rarely, but sometimes, then I need to remind myself that no, this is not real. This is in my head. And I am fine, and then that helps. So just shows you that everyone is going through stuff constantly. And I might sometimes seem like I have it all together and I have no worry in the world. That is not true. I am just like everyone else, going through shit, being a normal person, as is evident. And yeah. What has helped me with my anxiety? Like I said, this piece of information from my doctor, for sure, very helpful. But also working out, or not working out even, but going on daily walks or on regular walks, on eating healthier, losing a little bit of weight, I guess, as well. All of these things, just looking out for myself. Being healthier in general, I suppose. That has helped me personally to reduce the anxiety. I think a big part of that is going out for an hour at least every day, like walking 7 to 8 kilometers or something like that, 6 to 7 maybe, every day. And while that sounds like maybe a lot to some people, not a lot to others, it has helped me and has made me feel better. So for me it worked. For me, it was enough. And yeah, that has been the most realness I've shared in a while, at least on here, on Instagram, for example. I put a lot of time into talking about these things. I have constantly, or quite often at least, talked about these issues. Like I said, not all the time. And sometimes I'm also very selective. I can't help it, like no one can really, but I try not to do it. For example, I don't feel like sharing when I feel bad like every day. I don't feel bad every day, obviously, but sometimes I'm not in the mood for sharing anything. Not the positive, not the negative, and then I don't, because that is also something that I had to learn to not get another burnout. First of all, of course, as many of you know, back in the day, I made more than 3 videos a week sometimes. I worked basically every day, all day, until midnight, sometimes longer. I worked weekends often. I worked myself, not to death, but to burnout, for sure. I used to work so much more. And now I'm just trying not to do that. I'm trying to reduce my hours. I'm trying to make room for just doing nothing, you know, just for relaxing. I still have a side project, the W20 show, which I love. It's a passion project. And I still make 1 video a week and 1 short, very easy to do supporter update, like exclusive to my patrons and channel members. So on patreon.com/getgermanized and well, on the channel membership page on YouTube. So basically a paid subscription service for Get Germanized. For the people there, I have like an exclusive playlist with weekly update videos, which are very similar to this actually, talking about real stuff that is happening in the real world. And it's amazing. I love it. I love doing that. I love sharing with my, the hardcore, the harte Kern, as we say in German, the elite, the viewers that watch every video, basically, that want to support this channel. It's a lot of fun. And so if you want to join, here's a little ad for you within the Real Talk video. I did it. Well, anyway, that was not the purpose of this, but just wanted to make you aware of what I'm doing. Way less, because for over 6 years, I've done more than 3 videos at least a week without skipping a week basically ever. I don't think I've ever done that until I reduced my videos. Sometimes, very rarely as well though, I skip like a week. I always try to give you something. Maybe I should just skip some weeks and do or put more effort, or even more effort, I should say, in a video. I don't know, maybe that would be better. But I feel lazy if I don't work and put out something once a week, which is probably also wrong. I know creators that put out a video a month, a video every 2 months. To be honest, most of those are like animation creators that, well, create animation, which is amazing, which takes a lot of time, obviously. So I don't feel like I necessarily need to be that slow because I don't do animation, you know. I don't do anything of the sorts. I would if I could, probably. But since I can't, yeah, I don't. And also, I had to learn to delegate because I don't like delegating. I do not like making other people do my work, or to be honest, I don't like others meddling with my work, or used to at least. I always thought, this is my channel, I need to be doing the editing, I need to be doing, which I'm still doing to be honest, but I need to be doing everything or people will notice and people will not like the channel anymore. I used to do the thumbnails, the designs, the everything. And obviously, that will also at some point lead to burnout if you're not careful. So I've stopped doing everything, or I'm trying to, still working on it. I've delegated the design and the thumbnail creation and the homepage design and creation, to be honest, recently, getgermanized.de, to an amazing artist called Cave Tricorn, aka Elena, which is an amazing friend and helper. I pay her to do designs like emojis or just general merchandise designs and basically all that kind of stuff. And she's really, really great. You can check her out on artstation.com/cavetricorn, I think. And yeah, that helped massively, or is helping massively. And I'm looking into maybe getting an editor, but that is like the last step that is very hard for me to give up, because editing, I like it. It's a lot of work, but I like it. Because I also am afraid that if I give that up, my videos will feel less like my videos. But I also know there's a lot of talented people out there, a lot of very amazing editing artists or cutters or motion design artists, and all of those people who know a lot more than me, who could very well increase the value of the videos and make them more interesting. Maybe, yeah, the style would change a little bit, but maybe it's worth it. But also it's a lot of money a really good editor takes, which I completely understand and which I agree on, because it is so much work. And especially if you want to put in effects and stuff like that, or make a really engaging video, so to speak, with a lot of fancy cuts and fancy effects, then it just takes forever, or can take forever. Also, like stuff like subtitles, for example. Subtitles take a long time. I'm waiting, to be honest, for a function on YouTube, which I think has been released recently, to just automatically do it. Because I really don't like writing subtitles for videos. And I'm thinking to myself, why isn't there an AI yet that does that for me? Because it should be able to do it, and I think at some point soon it will be. Maybe it already is. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it looks like it's getting there. Also, I think Adobe Premiere recently has come out with a function, or is going to soon, where basically they do the subtitles automatically for you, which is pretty damn cool. Sorry, the car behind me is keeping like a certain distance because they see the massive camera that I'm filming with on my dashboard, I think. So I hope they will change ways soon. It's always so awkward. Because, I mean, they might think of police, I think, or something. Kind of funny, though. So yeah, I guess we'll lose them at some point. But yeah, also, well, there's a lot of corn being chopped down by... what do you call those? Well, Mähdrescher in German. The big machines that cut down all the corn. Der Mais in German. That's happening at the moment. Just thought you might want to know. But yeah, that was a lot of real talk. Let me know if you want more of these real talk videos in the future. If not, I understand, obviously. Some people just come here for learning German. Not everyone, but some people, you know. Some people definitely. Less so with others, but I know that if you're watching until now, you definitely want the real talk. You definitely like it. Which I appreciate, you know. I do appreciate it. So yeah, let me think if I missed anything, but I'm pretty sure we're in the clear. I want to do more of these real talk videos as well, maybe with guests about these topics, because now, of course, I talked about some creators, no one in specific, but maybe another creator's opinion on this would have been helpful, even though I think many of my colleagues out there think the same. Oh, one last topic in regards to that as well that I wanted to talk about is like the fear of missing out that comes with my job. Because, or with any job, I guess, where there's networking involved and events that are like kind of mandatory, but kind of not, like networking stuff, where you meet people, you get seen, or you will be seen basically, because I talked to a friend and colleague as well, and we agreed that these events are usually, I mean, they're kind of nice because you also meet others in your field. And sure, that is nice. But for me personally, so far, with the exception of a few nice acquaintances, nothing really major has come out of it. And it's mostly just a little bit of a hassle. And you mostly attend those things because you have FOMO, so fear of missing out. And you contribute to these events because you have FOMO, fear of missing out. What if I don't have a talk? What if this? What if that? My colleague agreed that is definitely part of it. For me, it's a big part. Like, I usually just attend these events because I think it's good for my career. And I don't like it. I hate doing that kind of stuff just because you're supposed to. I really don't like it. Even though the events can be fun for sure, but everyone there, I think, secretly is just there because they think they have to be there, which is a shame. Of course, it's normal in any workplace. You will not connect with all of your colleagues. Every now and then there's a couple, like I have a handful of people from these events that I honestly really enjoy talking to. And then there's others who are really just not my, I mean, they're nice, but they're just not my type of people. Like, they have nothing in common with me. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Which is not their fault. It's no one's fault. But I don't know. It's a minority of people that I think I would vibe with, even in videos and stuff like that, like really get along with. So sometimes I feel like, why even bother? Like, I'm happy sometimes when there's stuff that I really need to be doing instead of these events, which is a shame, because I would love for these events to be more of a honest hangout where everyone really wanted to attend, and not because they're being paid, they're being promised promotion, or because they have fear of missing out. Maybe I'm completely wrong about this. If you're a creator and say, oh, you're full of bullshit, I mean, that's very possible. I'm often full of bullshit. Not intently? No, not with intention. There we go. But sometimes, surely, I must be. Everyone is at some point. No one's perfect. And if you think you're perfect, you're probably not. Most likely not. If you know someone who pretends to be perfect all the time, let me tell you, they're not. Just not. So anyway, thank you for watching this, if you have watched it until now. I hope you got something out of this. I certainly did. It's always good talking about these things. It's good sharing. And yeah, if you have any thoughts on this, let me know in the comments below. Leave a like, leave a subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. You should. Check out getgermanized.de, the new homepage with new designs from Elena, amazing stuff. New merchandise on getgermanizedmerch.com, and all the other social media can be found in the video description. So thank you very much for that, and apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to get Germanized. Goodbye! And auf Wiedersehen. There's a very angry looking couple behind me. They're like, what is she doing? What is she doing with the camera? What is the camera? Anyway, see you soon, guys and girls and people out there. Thank you very much. Goodbye.